Hey everyone, welcome back with Beano Mac, where today I don't really think I can say continue my playthrough of it. I finished Dragon World and my previous playthroughs of Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. This is just me demonstrating all the things you can do in the side mode, Babidi Spaceship. Now how you unlock this one in the first place, play Dragon World, collect all 7 of the Dragon Balls, and this is pretty much going to be the first thing you can always wish for that is going to always guaranteed to be there when you first get the Dragon Balls, first thing on the list. And I think it'll keep showing up until you pick it. And then after that, you can get the freaking Bulma costumes in that slot, which are just, who really cares about those? It's just all it is just change what outfit that Bulma wears in the freaking capsule shop. And I don't even know why that's a thing that they even thought was a good idea, especially with the fact that the Dragon Balls are the only way to get any breakthrough capsules. So I mean, it's already a grind fest, but to add the useless freaking Bulma's costumes just kind of has me scratching my head. And on top of that, it would have been cool too if they could have done it in which you could have unlocked this mode just by simply completing Dragon World. Because I don't know, there's not really any direct completion goal for completing Dragon World, so it would have been nice if that was the thing. But starting off here, as you can see, we have 1 health bar. They're like the Cybermen, essentially. You defeat them with 1 health bar, one after another, and try to rack up as many kills as you can. And you get these points solely based in this mode. You don't get any Zenny, you have Kili. The same stuff that they tried to collect in order to, resurrect Majin Buu in the show and whatnot. So pretty cool. And this is how you unlock everything that has to do with the Majin Buu saga. So, Dabura, Super Buu, Kid Buu, Fat Majin Buu. That's how you unlock them, their moves. I don't remember exactly how much you need for them. I think Dabura is the first guy you unlock. Let's check it out. But, It's a fun little side mode. I was talking about, the purposes of the side modes and stuff like that, and I think it's probably makes the most sense out of any side mode as far as, it's cool that they added it and it has the actual purpose of unlocking new characters so it doesn't feel pointless. But the mini games that are associated with it do leave a little bit, to be desired. But, I mean, on the same end, you get to pick your own arenas, who you fight, play as, all sorts of stuff. So, the cheat for this thing, and I'm not doing it because at this time, I didn't have all the capsules and stuff like that. This was actually after I did one playthrough before I did the actual playthrough, and, then I was like, okay, this is cool, but it's kind of a little bit lame as well. So I think I'm going to do it with all the breakthrough caps and stuff like that. This is before I had Dr. Hero's Light Train move. But if you have that move, you keep getting healed every time you use it. So that's kind of like the cheat or whatever of this particular stage in the mode. And, if I were you, if you want to have fun doing it, go ahead. It's a bit of a grind fest, but it's not the worst thing. But I would have to recommend that, if you don't really actually care for this mode too much, just use the freaking Life Drain. It's just better overall, in my opinion. And as you can see, that was not a very good run for me. I mean, maybe it was. 150 kili doesn't seem that much. I mean, I got it. It's Dabura. Like I said, my theory was proven. Dabura is the first unlockable, but I don't know. I'm not the greatest at this game. I'm usually good at winning all my matches, but as far as, the real technical challenge stuff like that, yeah, it's I'm not exactly, a master at these games, stuff like that. So don't expect to see me, off the rails, breaking records, all this stuff like that, especially in this mode in particular. Let's see. I think we'll go with Planet Namek this time. Just just to switch it up, and he'll give you guys a good look at Dabura, who we did not encounter at all in the freaking story mode because, I mean, he practically serves no purpose. Definitely one of the most wasted characters in the story mode, in my opinion, as he just shows up for one level. It pretty much discourages fighting, and fighting him in particular as well. Like, I don't care. There's no way that you can fight him because of Cell kind of just hangs out in that area with him. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not likely you're going to be able to, actually fight him. And then when you don't fight him, he doesn't show up in the next level. So, I don't know. Just kind of silly, in my opinion. But, I talked about all that stuff at length. If you haven't already, check out my playthrough of Dragon World and stuff like that. I have all the capsules, so I use all the ultimate moves and the big moves and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys, can get some enjoyment out of that. I feel like I maybe ranted on a little bit too much about, similar topics for this playthrough. Because I tried to, hold my tongue for certain periods of time, but then when I got to the points where I could talk about it, I kind of kept recapping things. So, I mean, hopefully I didn't, annoy you guys for that. But, just so you know, I go over, a bunch of content from the first and second Budokai game. There was, things I think is awesome. I give my critiques on, the story mode, what I think they could have done better, things that I would have changed, and all this other stuff. As well as the things that I think they did a pretty good job on. I think in next... my next Dragon Ball Z playthrough, I'm going to start going over more about what my thoughts on the characters are and whatnot. Tien is one of my favorite characters. That's why I picked him. So, just kind of analyzing my thoughts on a lot of the characters and how I thought the story actually treated them and this and that. And, less so about the games because, I think you guys have heard me ramble on about, the games and stuff like that a little bit, to where, I'm honestly I'm a big fan of, the franchise as a whole, not just the games, similar to wrestling and stuff like that. But the games are actually what actually got me into this Dragon Ball Z series as a whole. Because, I was born in 1999. I think there's a few people that think I'm older than I actually am on this channel because I like a lot of games that were actually before my time, like the Aki wrestling games and stuff like that. But no, I was actually born in 1999. I'm just a fan of older stuff. Like, I love 80s music as well. So, like stuff like freaking Blondie, I think is awesome. Part of that is just due to the GTA Vice City. I don't really search out music. It's just stuff that I hear on the radio or, stuff like that. I like Green Day a little bit too. But this is getting a little off topic. This is a bit of a thing about me or whatever, I guess, at this point. But yeah, the thing with that really got me into the series was the Budokai series itself. I started out playing the Tenkaichi series because that was what was new and cool at the time with my older brothers, and he was playing it. Tenkaichi 2, my oldest brother played, and that's the one that had the really good story mode. Tenkaichi 3 came out, and not my oldest brother, but like the middle brother, because I'm technically the youngest as far as my dad's kids. So Tenkaichi 3 came out, and of course that had all the 150 characters, the Dragon Ball characters, all the transformations, crazy stuff, the early, mid, and Goku characters, so many characters, stuff like that. I was never good at the Tenkaichi series. I still am not. I'm still gonna play him for the channel, if you guys vote for him and stuff like that. Later on, I think I've kind of done a little bit too much of the Dragon Ball series for right now. So this is going to be like the last episode for a little bit while. We're going to change things up for the next thing for Fighting Friday, just to give a little more variety to the series. But as far as Dragon Ball Z goes, yeah, the Tenkaichi series, I thought I was a little interested in the series just because my brother played that. Then, Dragon Ball Z Kai came to Nicktoons. And of course, that they had weird things with it, like instead of blood, I can't tell if it was like brownish fluid. I always took it as like, okay, that's the character's sweat. But also, since it was Nicktoons, they had to edit that stuff out and edit it down and all that sort of stuff. But that's when the first time I was really able to experience the Dragon Ball story. And even when it was coming out, it's just like the regular Dragon Ball Z when it was coming out. From what I hear, they would have all these, they would just spam all these episodes out, and it'd be, you're living and all this other stuff about all the episodes that were coming out. It was like a paradise. You'd have like 5 new episodes a freaking night. Then all of a sudden it just stopped for months. So I always just found that weird. Not that it would have fixed it entirely, but they could have at least just done weekly episodes. But I don't know. That's just how I remember it. And so obviously Dragon Ball Z Kai I was enjoying, and around that same time, I forget what came first. It was probably Dragon Ball Z Kai coming out. Is kind of what got me back interested in the series, and then I started doing the Budokai series. And I accidentally picked up. I tried Budokai 2 and I knew, okay, this is different. This is not the Tenkaichi series. But I also bought Budokai 3, and I was like disappointed at first because I was like, oh man, this isn't Tenkaichi 3. So, but then I, popped them in. I freaking loved Budokai 3. I couldn't get into Budokai 2 at first. And I think it's because I tried Budokai 3 to begin with. And, once I got through the tutorials and learned how to do everything, I instantly fell in love with Budokai 3. And a lot of people, that's their favorite. I think nowadays Budokai 2 is honestly my favorite because of how replayable it is. But Budokai 3, it's just the first time you play that, it's just so freaking magical. And going back, it's like the story, you think it's like freaking awesome because you know the Dragon Ball Z story and you think they represented it perfectly and all this other stuff. But it's probably, people complain about how this game represented the story. The Budokai 3 story is very choppy. It's a little iffy. But, they got the basic points down. It's very fun. The exploration of it is what made it so awesome and legendary. And, I've in Budokai 3, on my memory card still, I am almost 100% completed with it. No cheese, no nothing. Just pure grind and hard work. I got all the capsules except for one singular capsule to this day. And I just am, one of these days I am going to, go back to it. But, I just don't have the patience for it because it's just going to be a massive grind. I don't have Trunks' mystery fiber jacket. That is literally, I looked it up. I scrolled through all the capsules, compared it to the stuff online and what I'm missing. That is the one capsule I'm missing, 99%. But yeah, Budokai and Dragon Ball Z Kai are kind of my origins and how I got into the series. But for real, I want to hear down in the comments below, if you watched this far, how you guys got into the series and why you love Dragon Ball Z so much as a whole. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to vote in the poll to see what I play for next Friday, for Fighting Friday. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day.